Welcome to Remembering Your Oneness with Xane Daniel and Monika Kupiec, where we know everything, and so do you. All right. Hello, everybody.
Aloha.
Do I remember right that last shot in our little intro there is a shot that you took? It's actually video that you took of the ocean, the water in the foreground.
If it was like really up close and like pinkish, that definitely was something I took in the water.
Right. That's
For
cool.
sure. It was my GoPro.
Nice. Yeah, it looks good. It looks just as professional as all the other shots, and it's a combination of, I think it's all us, right? And maybe there's no, I don't know if I used any
I think maybe the very first
footage.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the very first one, because it was like forest and a sunset or a sunrise.
Yeah. But the rest is all stuff that we took. That's cool.
Well, before painting, I did do some photography, pretty professionally. So,
Yeah.
That was my other thing that I did.
Cool. All right. Well, let's see what's going on. What's new? What's happening?
I think I was about to transition. I was like, oh wait, that would have been a perfect transition. But then the law of attraction shifted my awareness into becoming a painter.
Right. Yes. Well, you attracted to you what you truly wanted. Because
yeah.
What we often see, like the reason, okay, so the topic, we'll let the cat out. The topic is, and now I have a new perspective on cats and bags. Anyway, the concept of law of attraction is all about manifesting what it is that you want. And when I first watched The Secret, have you seen The Secret?
A long time ago.
Okay. It's interesting because that movie was really set up to try to get the public, the general Joe normal person, to watch it and be interested in a spiritual show. And hey, string pullers. And what was interesting about that is that it was very much geared toward the materialism. So in the movie, they're saying, imagine driving your brand new car, and they've got the guy with the steering wheel and he's pushing the pedal down and imagining all that stuff. And oh gosh.
Is it the cat?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'm interrupting all this in the process of buying a house. And so I'm constantly needing to answer phones and deal with things. We're like days away from the closing on our house. And so I just missed a call from a banker right now. That's the craziness of buying a house. And so I'm manifesting that. Anyway, to finish my thought there, the Secret was all about the law of attraction, and that was all about materialism. The things that I want, I can get what I want, because this whole society is based on trying to get what you want, like trying to get ahead and get the better job and get the promotion and get the house and the vacations and the yachts and the, you know what I mean? Like it's so materialistic, and it's all about, that's how you find happiness. Like you get happiness through all of these things and land and houses and blah, blah, blah. And so the law of attraction, when it's presented through the movie The Secret, and so this is the criticism that The Secret gets, is that it's presented in a materialistic way. But what I like about that is that it is a bridge for Joe Public to open their eyes to the idea of spirituality. So they're luring them in using the old trappings of getting what you want, because that's how you're going to find happiness. But then through the movie, they open you to, there's a whole spiritual possibility for you, and you should check that out. So so I like that, but the video today is really all about why are you wanting to manifest? Why do you want to use the law of attraction? Because it's really one of the most popular, um, really one of the most popular search topics in all of
Mm,
spirituality on YouTube is law of attraction. And if you do any keyword research, you find that it's inundated with all kinds of videos, and I can't get my law of attraction to work, and how do I do my manifesting better, and blah 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 blah.
mhm.
So my video is kind of about, well, wait a minute, why do you even want to do that in the first place?
Yeah. I was actually funny, I was gonna ask you yesterday if we could do, a show about materialism and spirituality.
Oh,
This
nice.
is this it manifested it
It
into itself
manifested.
today.
All right, already amazing. Yes. Okay, so why did you want to bring that up? What was your thought process?
Oh, I was just having a conversation with one of my, spiritual friends, and she was saying, that she's looking to get this really fancy car and this really fancy apartment and these other things that she's looking to get. And then in my that thought process was like, why do you want that? And then a lot of it was like, oh, because I'm worthy of getting this because I have the income to supplement this. And then I thought, well, maybe I mean, in my head, I was just thinking like, well, I probably would have liked to save all this money instead of blowing it out on like different types of like rents per se or loans in a way with the car and then with the high rent for the apartment. But then I also thought, well, maybe that's just what she wants. Maybe that's just what she needs in the moment to realize whatever she needs to realize. But it also made me question, well, why do we always aim to get a nice object or a nice brand new place to like live in? I know when I moved up here on the North Shore, it's just like a duplex and I live like on the lower end and I just love this place, just the peace of it, like, it's nothing too huge, it's not like it's a two-bedroom or three-bedroom place, it's, like, just enough for me, and I don't
Yeah.
think out of all the places that I lived in Hawaii, like, I feel like this is just me, this is just perfect, but then to someone else, it could be like, "Oh, well, you're living on your own, that's already, like, pretty luxury," so it's like, I feel like people just have different perceptions of what luxury means, like, this is my type of luxury, but in someone else's eye, it isn't. Again, those are all just judgments, like how I know you love to pinpoint each thing that comes out
Yeah.
of it.
Well, I agree with you. Probably, I had a big house, with, three bedrooms, and a fourth bedroom in the basement, and it was this giant footprint, and all of that, and it was really cool. It was really one of the cooler houses. It was like a mid-century modern style house, and decked
Mhm.
it out in mid-century modern furniture, and I was very proud of all that. This was kind of before my awakening, or at the tail end of my awakening, and but then I just realized that it was gluttonous and unnecessary, and just it was more, you know responsibility, and
Mhm.
on, like all these things that it just didn't it wasn't bringing me the happiness. And then when I moved out of there and moved into this little tiny place, this little 700 square foot place, I absolutely loved it. I thought it
Mm.
was perfect, and I actually thought it was too big, like,
Yeah.
I was super happy with what it was. And so, I understand the feeling that I would get. I got a great feeling from that place pretty much every day. I would wake up and go, "Wow, I really like it here." And
Yeah.
I'd look out the window and go, "Wow, I really like it here." And I would sit down and work. And what I liked about it actually was how primitive it was. Like, it wasn't very well done. I mean, the kitchen was kind of a wreck, and the tiles were coming up, and the bathroom was ugly, and falling apart, sort of. I loved it. Like, I didn't care at all. I thought that was charming and perfect. So it isn't necessarily about how immaculate it is, and how,
Mhm.
you know, filled with marble countertops, or blah blah, all that. But for me, it was, I did really get a very positive feeling from the place.
Mm.
And so I want to acknowledge that there is a type of satisfaction, or a type of happiness that you can experience from material things.
Mhm.
However, in my case at least, it didn't have to be that high end material thing.
Yeah.
It just needed to be that humble, perfect place for me. And then
Mhm.
and so I I hate the idea of saying you need nothing at all, and you could just live in a tent and should
Yeah.
be totally satisfied. Well, I get the idea of getting some sort of pleasure out of material things, but it is not going to give you the full fulfillment that you are many of us are looking for, the full peace and the full happiness at all levels, just because of a cool place that you live. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to feel pretty good, but it's not going to solve all the issues.
Yeah, it's almost like you're in a certain place that, um that not necessarily like a lesson, but necessarily for what you are doing in your life to hold space for yourself. Like, now that I'm growing my art stuff, like maybe upgrading to a bigger place would actually benefit me because then I'll have more storage and I'll have
Yeah.
more room to create. So it's
Mm.
like I feel like people have like these time periods where, that big house that you had served its purpose, but it helped wake you up to thinking, "Oh, no, I'm not really happy here." And
Mhm.
then you downgraded, and then you
Right.
downgraded even more to just living in your van until you met Jaybird, and now it's like, "Okay, well, we're ready to have a home now." So it's
Mhm.
like there are little transitions in the little time periods that you're having, but you're not necessarily attached to those situations or those objects or that house, You're not thinking like, "Oh, I need to stay in this place because, I'm, like, set in stone with being here." You're able to move on or to let go and to allow something else to come in. Because I feel like manifestation and law of attraction is kind of letting go so that you can bring more in. Even just yesterday, I went on the beach and I did like a clearing on myself, and it was like one of the energies from one of my paintings that I just brought back into my room, and I was like, okay, well, let me do an energy healing on myself based off of this painting. And when I did that, after within an hour, I got so many sales from, like, one of my TikTok videos. It was going, like, viral, and then I got, like 5 or 6 sales from it, and I'm like, "Oh,
Wow.
wow, I should just let go of things that are stuck in me to really allow something else to come in, because now I get to help 5 or 6 people with, like, a little mini energy painting, and then that can open up to something else, or maybe I'll think of a new color that comes through, or learn about a new color, or learn about something else about someone's soul. So I feel like a lot of law of attraction is just letting go to then make room for something else. Kind of like you let go a smaller place, then make room for that van, because you would have never had this fun adventure for it if you had stayed in that spot or let go of that place.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the other thing too is that when we move from this place of, okay, I I I will be happy when, right? Like what we
Mhm.
say, people say this all the time. I'll be able to be happy when I have a family, or I have a house and I have a kid, or I have the picket fence and the dogs, or when I have a job that I like, or when I have, there's always this, I, I'm putting it off for some future time based on some
Mhm.
criteria that I believe is true. I will be happy when I'm finally over this, uh, physical disease, like whatever it is. That is just saying, okay, well, I am not happy, and I won't be happy until some sort of external criteria is met. And
Mhm.
which, okay, so all you're doing there is you're postponing your happiness. And then what you find, or what most people find, is that they finally get to the thing that they said that they needed, and they're still not happy. Well, that's because you're defaulting to whatever your emotional state is most of the time. So, you hear about this from time to time. Somebody wins the lottery and they go, "Oh my gosh, my life is so much better. I'm so happy." And then 6 months later or a year later, they're right back to where they were before. Not because they
Yeah.
spent all the money, they might still be totally secure, but whatever their emotional state was before they won the lottery returns to them. So if they were worriers or they had anxiety, then yeah, when you win the lottery, you're like, all right, no more worries. Woo, I'm great. But then eventually you default back to that same emotional state, anxiety and worry. But maybe you're now anxietous and worrying about something else, not maybe
Mhm.
about money anymore, but now you're worried about your family or friends or your relationship or whatever. You always find something to use that default emotion on.
Yeah.
So if you continue to expect the external to provide you that happiness, then you will never get there because you will always default back to where you are now. So
Mhm.
the real trick is to work on where you are now. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. You can actually do work today, right this second, to begin the process of moving to a higher vibrational default emotion instead of being in disappointment or in worry or anxiety or often going to anger or whatever. Then you can go into excitement or gratitude or unconditional love. Then, if you actually get there right now, then whenever you do get to the, I got the house that I wanted or whatever the thing is that you want to manifest, then you'll carry with you that same emotional state. Oh, I'm in gratitude. Now I'm even in more gratitude. Yay. Right.
Yeah.
But if you don't go there first, then you're never going to get there. And getting to that new thing that you've set in your sights won't help you get to gratitude unless you work on gratitude today.
Yeah. It made me a lot of this concept is like that short-term satisfaction, like with the lottery. It's like when you go shopping, you're in that instant high of like, "Oh, this is new. I'm gonna buy this for myself, treat myself for this." But then, like, you walk towards the car and it's like, "Oh, well, this didn't really make me that happy," or you go home, try everything on, and in a couple of days, that, like, high wears off. And I remember I always had that sensation, growing up, because growing up, my brother was in, like, a heavy metal band, and they had band practice in my basement. So me and my mom would just go shopping just to get away from the music, and it was always like, oh, we would buy each other some things, and then I remember I was probably in grade school, like, what, 10 through 15 years old, and just feeling that this didn't really make me happy, that I was getting that awareness of like, there's something off here of this like instant gratification. And then you're walking back with all these shopping bags, your shoulders hurt, you feel drained and tired just from, walking around in a mall. But I feel like it's totally that. It's that gratitude feeling, or at least that whatever state of mind that you're in, it's not going to go away until you accept it or until you truly release it. Yesterday, I was also, before going to the beach, I was doing this one painting, and it's actually been really triggering me and just like making me like, I don't wanna do this anymore. So I actually cut it up and, like, threw it away, and usually people don't do that. Usually you can, like, recover it with something else, but I didn't like the energy that was in, and I feel like I released a lot just by getting rid of it. And then I went to the beach and surrendered into the sand. I was, like, feeling myself sinking into the sand and kinda just surrendering to the moment of, like, what was this release really impacting me? Like, what's this, like, emotion that I'm going through? And a lot of it was, like, feeling more content with myself, or finally letting go of that one scene that I was trying to paint, or really person, because it was for someone else a long time ago, and I wanted to replicate it because a lot of people liked it, but I realized it wasn't making me happy because it
Right.
was helping me remember of that memory of someone else. So it was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna be painting this anymore." But it helped me realize and make space for something else, which is when all those sales started to, like, flood in a way. It's,
Mhm.
like, helping me transition into a different form of painting, or that type of painting landscapes maybe just isn't in my highest good right now because it's not raising that vibration, it was actually lowering my vibration.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Those are great lessons, and you have to be aware to in order to learn the lessons in many cases. If you just go, well, you know, that didn't work out, and oh, well, look at that just random thing. I happen to get some things off of TikTok. That's pretty cool. But no, you're diving in and you're learning from it. You're pulling nuggets of great teachings through your own experiences, and a lot of people don't do that, and
Mm,
they're not and they're just not tuned into it. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's a little bit harder for them to actually access that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now I'm
Adele
reading.
says, "I have
Now we're
furniture
both
like
reading
that."
Jaybird's message here, so it's good. Uh, let's see.
I was reading Adele's, I like Adele's. "I have furniture like that." I hope you got rid of that furniture that doesn't make you feel good.
Oh,
Or it
right.
helps you remind you of someone else. You gotta let that go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and I agree. Definitely living in the here and now is where you want to be. You don't want to be saying, when I get to this point, then I'll finally be happy. That's not, you're never going to get there.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm gonna post Jabers here. I don't know if I let go or I gave up. I resigned myself to the relationship I was in prior to Xane and the misery that came with it. I figured, okay, this loveless, emotionless, abusive, and intimate less, which is not a word, but I like it. Relationship is just what I get. Okay, that's fine. And I just stopped looking for an escape. This is where Xane came in and reminded me of a world I had left years before him, the world of light. Because of him, I decided to make a change and started to diet, exercise, and meditate daily in okay. In
And
dot
stop.
dot dot.
Dot, dot, dot.
Yeah. Right.
Well, it seems like her life, transitioned when she met you because she was reminded of herself through you. Like, your presence or being with her helped her remember that part of her that she let go unknowingly, or she put in the back burner in a way. I think that's more of it, instead of letting, 'cause she didn't really let that part of herself go, she just forgot about it.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, well, and and it's funny. It's because I think it cut it off because this is StreamYard. It's much bigger than that. And she's trying to have me read it here, but I can't read it.
Well, she could just
Anyway,
copy and paste that section and then
yeah, yeah.
repost it again.
Right, right. So yeah, so okay. Then the other thing where I was asking earlier is, okay, what is the thing that you're trying to manifest and why are you trying to manifest it? I think it's really important that we ask ourselves this because of course, if it's because you're trying to find happiness, well, that's probably not going to work out so well. But if it's also because you think that it's the best thing for yourself or your family or for society or whatever, there when you go into manifestation and you say, what are you saying? That you're dissatisfied with the way things are. I want this to happen for society because I am not happy with the way society is right this second.
Sorry, my eye just, like, decided to burn, and I'm just like, "Is that blood?"
No, I don't think it's blood. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I forget what I was saying. So all right. So if you are essentially saying that I am unhappy with the way things are, and that means that I need to manifest something different, then you are not in flow with the divine plan. You are not in flow with your particular experience. You are instead against it, and you're in a state of dissatisfaction, and you're saying to the universe, not good enough, universe. And that is not a place where you're going to get what you want. That is coming from a place of lack and deficiency, and
Mm,
from there, what can you possibly hope to manifest? Actually more lack and deficiency.
mhm. Oh my gosh, my eye.
Do you need to run around?
No, I've been having this, like, weird thing where I feel like, my body's sensitive, and whenever I eat certain foods, like, I'm starting to get, like, not like allergic reactions, but either my sinuses go weird or my eyes get watery, so this whole week I've been, like, extra sensitive, and I'm trying to, like, pinpoint what it is, or maybe I just need to just, like, do, like, a little like a cleansing detox. But it feels like there's something happening because even yesterday I, like, changed some of the paintings in my room and then put stuff up that I've been meaning to put up, so it feels very complete in my house again, but it feels like my body is just still like, "Let's keep releasing."
Oh yeah. Change of diet. That's been happening a lot.
Mm.
changing of the diet. That's a big one.
Yeah, I see
Um,
Jaybird posting her keto stuff on the Facebook, so
yeah,
that's cool.
it's been a fun journey, and we're doing the carb counting, and I'm keeping an Excel chart of where
Oh,
all
are you
that.
going legit on it?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I'm not so much, but she is. Yeah,
Mm. 'Cause,
yeah.
I mean, you're kind of always on keto because you don't eat grains, right?
Right. I don't eat grains or dairy, so yeah. So essentially keto. Keto does allow for dairy and uh,
Fruit. You probably eat fruit.
no, you can't eat fruit on keto.
Yeah, but you
But I
probably
do.
eat fruit,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so it's similar, but yeah, she's going super strict, so it's got to be like no more than 25 net carbs and no more than 20 net
Mhm.
carbs, no more than 75 proteins and protein grams and that sort of thing. So it's been a fun process.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
when
that's funny. Hey,
I
it's
was
me.
I remember when I was on it, I did it, like, right before I did ayahuasca. Right, like, I did it a couple months before I did ayahuasca, and then I transitioned into the vegan because they told us to go vegan 2 weeks before the retreat, and I remember I felt really, really good. My energy levels were high, like, I felt, just more pure when I was on the keto diet. And yesterday when I was, like, tuning in, I didn't hear to go vegan, it was just to eat cleaner, like, get rid of dairy and rice and,
Mhm.
alcohol too was irritating me, so
Yeah.
it's when my
Yeah.
mom was here, we had, like a hard kombucha, and then I saw that I broke out, and I was like, "Maybe I should just lay low from alcohol."
Yeah. Yeah, alcohol screws me up too. So I don't even have any um social drinking things
Mhm.
anymore, and it's been, I don't even know, like at least a year since I've done that. Um so yeah.
Are we gonna finish off with what Jaybird said?
Yeah, so she put it in, she logged in as me here. Uh so this is Jaybird, this isn't me. Because of him, his love and support, I was able to change my life drastically. Drastically. Dramatically. Oh, I like that. That's a good word. Find peace and relax. Not only that, but he offered me his hand to adventure. Come on, let's go on an adventure. And here we are. It's like the law of anti-attraction actually attracts things.
Mm.
Yes, and that is exactly what my point is in the video. It is that if you are actually satisfied with everything that you have and you surrender to everything that's going on in your life, then all of a sudden you'll get what you want. But if you are in that place of lack and deficiency, saying, "Oh, I don't have it and I'm never going to get it," or "I wish I had it," or "I hope I get it," then you prevent it from happening. And that's one of the biggest lessons in the law of attraction, that I don't know if the secret really gets across. And I'm not totally sure if all the people that help people with law of attraction and manifestation are
Yeah.
are ever really getting to the nitty gritty on, and that's being satisfied with what you have, which is kind of funny, because if you're satisfied with what you have, then you don't need anything anymore. You're not asking for anything anymore. You're not wanting anything anymore, because you
Mhm.
have everything that you need.
Yeah. Well, The Secret also has, I think it's a part 2 or 3, but there's one on, I think, Amazon Prime where it's more of like a love story. That I liked that, Secret.
Interesting. I haven't seen that.
It's more of like a modern, like a movie type thing, and it has the concepts of the law of attraction on there. Like I said, I haven't seen the actual Secret since I was like a teenager, so I don't really remember it. But that one was a lot about, like, I think gratitude, and then her transitioning into, learning that she can attract things. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I personally like that story better. Maybe because it was more of like a, not like a rom-com, but it was just something enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And
Or resonating too. I think it's more resonating for, like, the everyday person because
right,
it wasn't anything about, receiving materialistic, like a mansion or like a exotic car or anything like that.
right.
It was like how to apply it in your everyday life.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's big. And also using entertainment or stories to illustrate spiritual concepts is a fantastic avenue. I really like that, and that's why I wrote my comic book Righteous, because I wanted to create a story that teaches spirituality in a way that's super entertaining and
Mhm.
relaxing, and something you'd want to watch or read anyway. And then it just so happens that it's highly spiritual, but yet it isn't, right? Like, I don't talk about the
Mhm.
Pleiadians or the Arcturians or past lives or things like that, but the concepts that the characters are experiencing are all very much about helping each other and being in unconditional love
Mhm.
for each other and the world.
Did you ever finish that comic book? Because I know you were putting it out in, like, series, right?
Yeah, so we're almost, I mean, we're getting close to being done with it. We're up to about chapter 20 in the writing and creation. I think we've almost finished chapter 19. There'll probably be another 5 to 10 more chapters before it's completely done. But
Mm,
I've taken a little bit of a break, but with all the other stuff that's been going on, I hope to get back to it and finish it up soon.
nice,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So if
I
anybody's
know we haven't talked about it in a while, so
Yeah, so if anybody's interested, I'm gonna put a post here, a little a link, so you can go check it out. Um, yeah, it's a comic book about a greedy corporate analyst who has a supernatural experience occur that causes him to have to help other people, even though he doesn't really want to. And the twist of the story is that every time he helps someone, they get it too, or he passes it on to them too.
mm,
And so it's a little bit like Pay It Forward, and it's a little bit like Liar Liar, kind of a combination of those two movies made into a book that is all about um, helping each other and helping the world and being a community. And really it's written as a manual to a utopian society. If we could follow something like Righteous, then we could actually create that for ourselves.
mm, yeah. I think Jillian said one thing before she
Yeah,
said
yeah, I want to catch up here with this. So what? Okay. Jillian says, I feel better energy from decluttering and purging than I do from buying things most of the time. I feel the same way. Yeah. With the exception of my amazing painting from Monica, of course. Oh, of course. Yeah. She's not going to throw away. Yay. I got this great painting. Throw it out in the trash. No, of course.
throw out that energy that's in there.
Right. But I'll never forget getting rid of 90% of my wardrobe because it didn't bring me joy. A couple of
Mm,
weeks later, someone bought me a new wardrobe without even trying to manifest. Right. That's amazing. Yeah. So you're just totally open to it.
yeah, one of my friends had told me that too when getting rid of clothes, it's really asking yourself, "Does this still bring me joy?" And that was like a game changer because a lot of clothes are also associated with memories or instances or meeting someone, and they're associated with that. And if you never let go of that piece of clothing, you don't have room to bring in someone else or something else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All of that. Absolutely. And, it's funny because, the law of attraction and manifestation is actually such a deep topic, but at the same time, it's just so simple. It
Mm,
it really isn't anything more than just being at peace with everything,
mm,
and then you get what you want because you don't want it so badly anymore, almost to the point that you don't want it at all. Like Jillian explained, right? Like, she got rid of 90% of her wardrobe because I don't need it. And then boop, she all of a sudden got a brand new wardrobe. Well, oh my gosh, I didn't want that necessarily, but that's pretty great.
yeah. Oh, you guys left your cat painting in Tennessee?
Yeah. It was on the wall, and when we were packing up, I think that's how we forgot it. Well, yeah, I know. Well, Jaybird's mom is gonna come and visit us this
Mm.
year in the new place, and we actually intentionally left some things behind because we
Oh,
couldn't
it's
fit 'em.
at their house?
Yeah, because we couldn't
Oh,
fit
okay. I thought it was like an Airbnb.
It's gone, we trash it. No,
Mm,
it's at their house, and they'll be able to bring that among the other things
mm.
we intentionally left behind.
Maybe they just needed the energy of
That's
that,
right.
so
Yeah, exactly. See, look at that. See, you didn't go, "Oh my gosh, what a mistake and what a terrible thing it was." You
how dare
immediately
you forget that painting?
right, right, yes, it hurt you deeply that we would not think to bring it. No, you just said, "Yeah, well, maybe that's an intentional experience for," and actually, I know that they've got some other guests coming in, so those guests are gonna be
Mm,
able to experience it. So, it hurts Jaybird
jaybird.
deeply. Yes, she's very upset. I can see it
Well, it
now.
was her baby, so
Yes, it
well, the
was.
cat,
Yeah,
yeah.
she left her cat behind, and she left the cat painting behind.
Oh,
Jeez.
Mr. Ch Sir Charles too?
No, no, no. No,
Oh,
the cat that you painted
ah,
about, right?
mm,
So she had to
yes.
leave that cat behind, and then she left the representative of that cat behind. And then we got box cat over here. We have, Sir Charles is sleeping in a box right now.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. I'm looking forward to getting down there. Okay, so our current schedule is that we supposedly will be closing on the property in Mississippi that we can move into on Tuesday,
Oh,
and
wow, so
we have
soon.
to do work on it and everything right away. So I pretty much put off all my meetings and all my everything so that we can totally focus on
Mhm,
getting all of that taken care of, doing some flooring work and painting and
and a
all
cat
kinds of
wall.
stuff.
I
And yeah,
see.
that'll be very high priority. That's like the first thing. We don't even need a bed for ourselves. Like the first thing we want to do is make sure we build a cat wall so that they can, be happy. Except
Oh,
they're a
you
little.
said "they"? You're gonna have more than one.
Well, we're gonna go get mescalido,
Okay.
so we
I
will
was
have 2.
I was sensing more of a physical one when you said "they."
Oh, no, we will be. I mean, mescalido is a physical cat,
Oh! Okay, okay, okay.
right? His
It's
name is
different.
Midget, but because of our conversation and everybody's
Mm,
conversations, we realized, that mescalido is is the spirit of that cat.
a midget, mhm.
Yes, so that's why now I call him mescalido. I don't call him Midget.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Have you had any new realizations about yourself through Mescalino or more of that stuff? If you wanna talk about it?
Um, yeah, I mean, well, so when I channel mescalito, I that's when I start doing the body movements. And
Mhm.
so that kind of comes and goes. It kind of depends on the person that I'm working with. Sometimes he's very prominent and present, and other times he isn't as prominent and present. And so, it just depends on the situation. So the Hathors will come forward. I was working on someone today where it was very powerful, really felt it a lot. And that was the Hathor feeling. And then, a week or two ago, I was working with someone and mescalito was there. And so I was doing all the physical motions. And what's really interesting is that sometimes the physical motions are so precise and they're almost like gear shifting. So I can
Mm,
feel the every slot that my shoulder goes into is like a new gear slot, and I can't reproduce it on my own unless I'm in meditation and I allow him to take over. Then the motions that he gives me are feel mechanical almost, and again outside of my capabilities of being able to do. So it really does hammer home that the the presence of mescalito.
mm,
It's really cool.
that's neat. Yeah, do you ever, experience that, a guide comes through, but you just don't know who it is?
Yeah, absolutely. And in many cases I don't know. And so I've had to rely on others to tell me who they are.
Mm,
Because when I ask, they always say something like, it's not important, it's the healing that's
yeah,
important, or
yeah,
it's the message that's important, or whatever. And
mhm,
they don't like to identify themselves. And I end up usually explaining that as a lesson for people. Like, we
mhm,
like to put things in boxes and we like to say, oh, this is this being, and this is this group, and this is
yeah,
this collective, just because our 3D human brains like to have everything digestible like that.
Yeah, whenever I do, like, meditations where someone comes in and they said to paint them, they don't say the physical sense because it's not important, it's more the feeling that they give or the feeling of the healing
Yeah.
that they portray in a way. So that's
Mhm.
how the whole abstracts came about for me, or why I continued doing it too. It's just really realizing the power of removing the physical self and just allowing yourself to feel into it and allowing each person to feel what they feel from it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
And
so I haven't checked out your TikTok channel. What's the well, let's tell people how to get to your TikTok.
it's at monica.kupiec. So
Okay.
I made it more simple, just Monica with a K and then Kupiec.
Kupiec. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you can check that out. What's mine? Is it just Zane Daniel or is it Zane dot Daniel? I can't remember.
I don't have my phone on me, I can't check.
Yeah. Try that and see if you find me on there. So yeah, so I'm glad to hear that it's been working for you though. I remember us talking about that a while ago.
Yeah, in January started to just post consistently, like I think it was like 2 or 3 times a day, and then I just started to just do it once a day. And then the one that went like, I had a few that went a little bit bigger, but this last one that I did, I posted, like, a reaction video of a client, and, she got really moved, and, like, you could see that she got emotional, but you could feel that shift that she had when she saw it, and I think that's what started getting people to truly, like it and engage with it because then they're realizing, "Oh, I wanna know what I look like," or, "I wanna know what mine would be like."
Yeah, I want to know that feeling. Yeah.
That feeling too, mhm. Someone commented saying, "I'm not a spiritual person, but I feel like this would make me bawl," and I'm like, "Yeah, it likely will."
That's
So,
awesome.
it's, like,
Nice.
neat to reach I guess, like, I'm learning the power of TikTok. It's like, you don't need to be spiritual to be reached what I'm trying to put out. It's gonna
Yeah.
reach whoever needs it in the moment, and it's really neat to just surrender and let the algorithm, like, figure out who's gonna get it,
Yeah.
or whose it's gonna pop up, or whose For You page it's gonna pop on.
Right. That's great.
So, I'm excited.
Yeah, I haven't been consistent with my TikTok posting. I put most of my effort and energy into YouTube.
Mhm.
I get those, 10 to 15-minute videos identifying a concept and so forth. And people seem to like that. And for some reason, I think my topics are kind of too long. I have a little bit of
Mm.
trouble summing it up in 60 seconds for a TikTok video.
Well, now they have, 60 seconds and 3-minute, time periods, so you can make them longer
Yeah, I
if
did
you
see
want to.
that. I just wonder if that gets distributed as well. One of the reasons that I think TikTok does so well is because the videos
So
are so
quick.
short. Yeah. In
Mhm.
a YouTube video, if you're going to watch, an hour's worth of YouTube, how many videos are you going to see? Maybe like 3 or 4. But if you're going to do TikTok for an hour, you're going to see, a couple hundred. And so you're going to be able to get
Yeah.
a lot more distance with your time. So, yeah.
I feel like everybody has its own, I guess, platform that really resonates with their viewer. Like, for you, it's YouTube. Mine's more visual because it's art, so
Yeah.
I never really tried my art stuff on the YouTube,
Oh, I'm
mainly
sure it would go very well. I'm sure.
yeah, I'm just not like I'm lazy, but I'm a little lazy, recording the whole shebang of painting and then doing the voiceover for it and that. But those
Yeah.
are all fun excuses that I'm putting up on myself.
Yeah.
But the TikTok seems to work for me because it's only a couple seconds, like here, clips, clips, clips. I always find it fun to just edit videos like that way. So it's like entertaining for me. And then again, I've noticed what raises my vibration, what doesn't raise my vibration. And YouTube videos were usually I felt a little drained or I felt a little, it didn't
Mhm,
really resonate with me as much.
mhm. Right. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm definitely gonna check out your TikTok video or your TikTok channel now.
Now that it's going better. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
well, yeah, right. Well, I'd kind of forgotten about it. Like I didn't remember that you were still doing it or didn't know
Mhm.
that you were still doing it. So yeah, I look forward to checking it out.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, I think I want to end today's a little bit early because I've got a couple of missed calls now for the property closing. So I definitely want to jump back on that.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. It was wonderful. And we'll see you probably next week. We'll see. Maybe it might be the week after as we're still settling into the place.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.